Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the match preview for our EFL Cup second round tie-off. Entry into the League Cup starts here with an away game at Huddersfield on Tuesday evening. It's going to be, our quest to end the silverware drought starts here, doesn't it? Myself and Callum are going to be looking into what we can expect from Huddersfield and how we feel about going into our first cup campaign of the season. Callum, first of all, obviously coming off the back of a win and a draw, the mood's a lot better than it was 2 weeks ago, that's for sure. But
sorry, go on.
But obviously this is going to be a big one for us because obviously, like I say, the silverware drought's the big thing for Everton, isn't it? To get rid of that, and we've got to take this cup seriously, regardless of what anyone says.
Yeah, 100%. Silverware. Like I said, I've said this before. Don't know if it was on this channel, but Everton have never won a trophy in my lifetime. And I'm not particularly old, but I'm 20 this year, so that 20 years, 2 decades. It's been over 2 decades about a trophy. Think about everything that's happened in the world in 20 years since we've won a trophy. And I've said this to a few people. This might sound weird, but Wheeler's the most confident I've been in a few years over a cup campaign in either of them, because I do think Rafa's always been quite good in cups, Spanish cups, English cups. He won an Italian cup, I believe, as well with Napoli.
Was he any good with Newcastle in the cup?
I don't know, but at the same time with that squad, you need miracles. I think it's just. I feel like he might have made a quarter-final one year.
Possibly, I'll have to have a look into that, but
yeah, that might be something you have to drop in the comments. But I do think Rafa's quite good in the cup competitions because I think he understands the idea of you don't have to be good for 38 games. You just have to be better than the team on the night who you play. And I think we don't have to worry about Huddersfield completely. Yeah, Huddersfield just beat Sheffield United, but everyone's been beating Sheffield United recently in the Championship. It's not a difficult thing to do, really. But the one thing about Huddersfield is very leaky defensively. If you watch them last season, they conceded in the 70s for goals. 72, I'm going to think. I'm going to put my foot down on 72 because I feel like that sounds about right. But yeah, Huddersfield leak goals. And I don't think we're the best defensively either, but I don't think their attack, maybe besides Josh Koroma, is going to light us up. Koroma may have a good game against us, but I'm not really worried. But yeah, I think we really need to not put a priority on, but Rafa needs to say that this is important. This is maybe the number one priority for the FA Cup. Maybe not the Carabao Cup personally, but
either way, though, it's a cup to cup. You've just got to go for them.
Oh yeah, a trophy's a trophy, but I mean, I'd rather us prioritize the league than the Carabao Cup, for example. But I wouldn't mind, for example, if we played Norwich in the league, rotated the side a little bit, and then went into for example, a fourth round FA Cup game against Tottenham with a full strength side. That's something that I wouldn't complain about. But yeah, I think I'm not optimistic about winning one. I'm optimistic that we actually might have a good cup run for once, and we might make it really far, a semi-final maybe of one of them. Because did we make the semi-final of the Carabao, or was it the round before we were? No, we were knocked out quite early by United, weren't we, actually?
It was the round before the semis. It was the quarterfinals. We went out to United.
Quarterfinals, we were knocked out by United. And then
City in the quarters of the FA Cup.
In a game where, was that the 1-0 where Virginia played?
Yes. Or something like that, yeah.
I don't think we played bad in that game, personally. I think we probably could have stole it in that game. But I think we've shown last season that we can have decent cup runs and we can play well in the cup. And I do think with someone like Rafa, we'll play a lot better in the cup than someone like Carlo, for example. No offense to Carlo. But yeah, I think we're going to make a semi-final of one of them is my hope. And I'm going to pin it down on that. I think we'll make one semi-final, preferably the FA Cup, because I'd love to see us win an FA Cup. But I think maybe we can do it. I don't know why I'm so optimistic, but I think there's a slight chance that we might be able to pull something off this season.
Yeah, fingers crossed anyway. But obviously going into this one, Huddersfield, in the Championship, they've started the season, well, they're in mid-table, 2 wins, a draw and a loss. with that in mind, like you've got to remember about these kinds of games. They are banana skins in the making because we remember Millwall in the cup. We've gone out to some lower league sides in the past. We've got to get this right. We've got to buy ourselves properly at least.
Yeah. I think it's really just be careful, isn't it? I think with a cup, for example, you want a good blend of maturity and youth. Like we should rotate. I think we should give a few young players a chance, maybe Anthony Gordon's, your young players that we know can play at a good level. I'm not saying for example, Lewis Dobbin is a player I really like. But I'm not saying chuck him in for a cup game, but like Nkunku, Gordon, maybe Ellis Sims, who's someone who's, he's only could score goals. It was League One, but
Ellis Sims still injured.
Is he still injured? Is he back yet? I thought he was injured for it's just the start, isn't it? So I think he might be back quite soon, but I don't think Dom should play the cup game personally. So if that means Dobbin or Cannon get a chance, or Moise Keane plays, but Moise Keane were quite good in the cups last season before he went in a cup. Was it Fleetwood?
Yeah, he scored against Fleetwood.
He had quite a good game before leaving for PSG, so give Keane a chance. Hopefully he can score like 4 goals and revitalise some interest in him from other clubs. But it's just, I think you need to have a good blend. So, for example, not a big Fabian Delph fan, but playing him and Gabamin maybe, or Gabamin and Davies maybe, something like that. Because I do think we can fully rotate the midfield without any worries, because we have, in my opinion, a plethora, I can't say the word, but that's the one, of Premier League quality midfielders. Davies is Prem quality, Alan Decoria Prem quality. I don't like Fabian Delph, but he is Premier League quality, and there's no denying that. When he pulls his finger out, he is Premier League quality. So I don't think it's the end of the world midfield-wise. I think our centre-backs, again, we've got Premier League quality centre-backs. I think someone like Nkunku deserves a chance. Kenny can do a job against a championship team. So I'm just not really worried about a team that conceded 70-odd goals when I think we do have good rotation options. And my only problem is the wings and up front. But at the same time, I think Gordon can do a job against the Huddersfield. I think Moise Keane can definitely do a job against the Huddersfield. Maybe he plays James to give him a little bit of fitness, because if he has been isolating, to be fair, the time frame does work out. Missing 2 games, going back to training on Monday, that does work out. A lot of people say, it's a load of crap, we're just getting rid of him. But the time frame does work out. And, if Yerry Mina's testing negative, for example, and James tested positive, or James was in surroundings with someone who's got COVID, in the end, if Mina's tested negative, Mina probably doesn't have to isolate because he's probably been vaccinated, and that is the law in the country now. So the club are obviously going to say, well, he's tested negative. We don't know if James has it. I think James would have said it, because James likes to say a lot of stuff on Twitch now.
James got a lot to say for himself.
I do feel quite bad for him, because I don't think he was intentionally being, insert a swear word here, when he said we didn't know we play. I think he actually just had a slip of the mind moment, and it got caught on stream. Do you know what I mean? Because the amount of times I'll be on a stream and I'll completely forget who Everton are playing, even though we're in a match preview about the team we're playing, and I just completely forget. It happens to us all. And I do think in that moment, unfortunately, it happened to him. And all he did was ask his audience, can you remind me who we're playing, please? Because I don't care if he's a football player, man. I bet Rafa forgets who we're playing sometimes. Because it just happens, not everyone's got 180 IQ and can remember everything. Everyone forgets. So I think James will be given a chance, and I do think it'll be a good game for him. For example, like Sheffield Wednesday was able to give him that bit of a confidence boost in the cup. So I think this might be a good opportunity for James to play to, dominate a team and really boost his confidence. And then hopefully maybe prove to Rafa that he can get back into the team.
But also, like you say, he could also use it as a chance to, market him out there to play to clubs who want to sign him.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Because, for example, if he has a belter against Huddersfield, plays against Brighton, he's shown he can have a belter against Brighton last season. I think he played pretty well both games against Brighton. I don't know if he played the second one, but I know the first one where we beat him, what was it, 5-4-2?
4-2?
Yeah, the one where Basuma scored that worldie at the end, at the start of the season.
That's right, yeah. He had a belt performance, scored twice.
Yeah, exactly. So if we want to get rid of him, you need to at least play him to put him on the shop window. I understand he's, big name James Rodriguez, but clubs, shockingly to us, other clubs aren't stupid like we are. They won't just take a punt on someone because of a big name like we do. They'll actually look and go, he doesn't play much. Why should we pay your money that you want for him and pay him big wages? So I think if we want to get rid of him, we actually have to play him in these next two games. And that's either as a confidence booster or to put him out on the market.
Yeah, I think it's not just that he doesn't play very often. It's also you've got to think like injury records and also you've got to ask like his attitude sometimes. Like you say, I know you're being a bit more defensive of him, but I haven't got as much sympathy as you have for him in terms of all this Twitch stuff. I mean, you can't really be going on Twitch and whether it comes across as it's happened too many times now. Even though if that was a mistake back in we playing thing, he came out and said something like we're not the best club, and like I know even again that might be true, but you just don't go and say these things. I think it's happened too many times where I think it's a conscious thing he's doing.
I think with that sort of stuff though, like I don't know if I don't want him to do that, but I also don't want him going around Everton this, Everton that. Woo, such a good club, because we're not. We're absolute shite. We are, and it's just brutal honesty, isn't it? Like the thing is, I don't think he should, because it's just not a smart thing to do because you're going to have your words twisted, and I think he should know that. But I also don't think it's from a place of malice. I think he's being naive, isn't he? He's being a bit stupid and naive and thinking that no one's going to twist his words because, the club knows I love Everton. But if the club keeps saying it, they're going to be like, what are you doing? We know you like the club, but in the end, you're walking yourself into a trap here because fans are going to use it against you, even if it's not what you mean, because in the end, you've always got to watch what you say on the internet. So I think he could be a little bit smarter, but I also think he's not doing it from a place of malice. So maybe someone has to have a word with him from the PR team and go, listen,
definitely
chill out with what you're saying a little bit. If you made one slip up, we can accept that. And then just give him a list of stuff and say, just don't mention this stuff. It's not difficult. We're not trying to ban you from having a personality, but we also don't want you to say something stupid that ends up burying your chances at staying at the club with someone like Rafa.
Yeah, it's one of those. It all depends what his intentions are. We can't be entirely sure, but I'm pretty sure he wants to move on. And
I think he wants to move on because he's not playing. And I think he knows he's not in Rafa's plans. I think if Rafa came and said, yeah, James is in my plans, he's going to play, James wouldn't force a move. He'd say, yeah, I'm happy to stay. I think he just wants to play football. And I think he sees the writing on the wall with Rafa. He knows they don't have a good relationship. And maybe he sat there thinking, yeah, there's a chance Rafa's just going to try bench me here like he did at Madrid. Jorge, see if you can get me another move first. Which I don't blame him for. I'd do the same thing if I was in this position. Because he's not an Everton fan. He doesn't owe any loyalty to the club. And at the same time, if he's not going to get played, he's not like he's snaking the fans out or anything, is it? He's just trying to benefit his own career by actually playing football, which unfortunately sometimes you have to do.
Yeah, it's one of those. I would agree. Now it's the right time to sell. It's great having him here, but I think if we can recoup a bit of money, shift his wages and reinvest it well, I think it'll work out for the greater good because, like we even said in the last show, James Rodriguez doesn't really fit the way it looked like we were playing against Leeds and against Southampton.
I don't. I think there's a way to fit it in, but I think Rafa wants all three of his attacking midfielders bombing forward. I think there's a way, for example, where you could play it through to James and then James can link other players in because he's amazing at that. But I also think then you've got he doesn't have to be slow. I think you can still do fast counter-attacking football with James. But James then maybe will have to be someone who can drift on the edge of the box while everyone else bombs forward, which could work. But I think then also you've got to experiment with that first. And which is why I think he should play against Brighton. Because when do we play Brighton? So we played the Cup on the 24th, which is Tuesday.
Brighton,
and we'll play again that weekend. There you go. So 3 days before the window. Someone might get desperate on deadline day. It's very possible. It happens. We've seen Arsenal with Arteta on deadline day with us. We've seen us with, I'm trying to think of who we've signed on deadline day that's just turned heads.
We obviously had the Lukaku McCarthy Addy deadline day, didn't we?
Yeah, but that worked out well for us. They were most of them. Like McCarthy was good before the injury. Lukaku, best striker to play at this club in the Premier League era. Arguably best player to play at this club in the Premier League era. And, he's only gone and got better from Everton. So I don't know. It's just quite difficult because obviously we had the Yerry Mina stuff and all that, but that was the last few days sort of thing. So I think we have to give him a chance to play. And then, so, for example, if he gets 2 assists and a goal against Huddersfield, gets a goal against Brighton and looks better, then other clubs might look and go, oh, right, he's clearly still got it in his locker. If he comes over to, let's say, Italy, it's not as physical. Spain, it's not as physical. France, it's not as physical. So it might be this idea where he goes, or the clubs go, yeah, I think we could get 25, 30 games out of him.
Yeah. I think that'll be the best way to do it. And same goes for Moise Keane. I think we should give him some game time in this Huddersfield game. Aside from the obvious two, obviously we touch a lot on them on this channel with the way it's been the transfer window. But any other personnel you can see coming in for this Huddersfield game?
I did say it in our thing. I think Branthwaite might play.
That'd be good.
I like Branthwaite, and I think he was okay at Blackburn. I think it was a bit, but Blackburn have never really been a fantastic defence. They relied way too much on Adam Armstrong last season to get them through games. So I think maybe he might give Branthwaite a chance because Branthwaite was on the bench for the Leeds game. I think he might give him a chance. I think it might be him and Holgate because I don't know if Godfrey will be ready. I think he might be ready for Brighton, but if James is starting training on Monday or tomorrow or today, I don't know what day it is. It's tomorrow, I think. Yeah, it's tomorrow. Yeah, maybe Godfrey's back as well and plays, but I would like to see Branthwaite given a chance. I'd like to see Gordon given a chance. Broadhead's out on loan, so no, Begovic will probably play. I think just give a few of the top youngsters a chance because I think we've got a few who are championship level. So I don't think it will be the end of the world playing them against, an average at best championship side at most times.
Yeah, I think Branthwaite got injured in the EFL Cup last season, didn't he? I think he got injured in the Salford game, but he started that one.
Yeah, and then he moved to Blackburn in January, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was January. He not long recovered from the injury. I think about a month before he went to Blackburn, and then obviously spent time there. Did he get an injury at Blackburn as well?
You'd have to have a look at how many games he played for Blackburn, but I don't know. Like I said, I didn't really keep my eye on Blackburn. It's like I said, that probably should be checking on our loan players, but I feel like he might have. I feel like you said it now.
I feel like he did get in. I know he did. He also he got an ankle injury about 2 months in, so he missed half of his spell there. But yeah, I think everyone more remembers the fact that he kicked someone in the eye or something while he was doing a high kick on someone.
Yeah, every defender makes mistakes, don't they? Man, it's like Emi Martinez is one of the best keepers in the league, and he almost who was it? He almost sent him out of the boots. It was like the Pickford situation where Callum Wilson was offside and Emi Martinez clattered him and didn't get a card because Wilson's offside. So it's kind of like the Pickford situation with Van Dijk, but obviously not us. We're not going to hear about that every day time Newcastle play for the next year and a half now. So, but yeah, I think it's just everyone makes mistakes, don't they? And in the end, he accidentally kicked someone. Mane did it to Edison.
Yeah, it was one of them. It was only because Warnock mouthed off at him, didn't he?
Yeah, exactly. It's just
Warnock basically.
Yeah, just blame him. Problem solved. Move on from it.
Yeah, so I'd say Branthwaite, Gordon should get some game time as well. Midfield, I think Gabaman, if he's ready, I think give him a bit of game time. Definitely.
I think he's guaranteed to play.
Davis as well, I'd say play him. And then
just play our entire bench from the Blackburn game. They're all pretty good players on that bench. I think this is what I said in the other stream as well, is that I actually think last game we had a pretty good bench, and that it was refreshing to see after just the nightmares of that bench under Carlo Ancelotti, where it was the under-23 side on the bench, and then maybe one or two players from the first team. So I think, I don't know. I think Andre Gomez is one of the players isolating. I think if we want to get rid of him, it might be a good idea to put him on the shop window and play him as well. Maybe even, might sound mental, play him in a more advanced role. So you can really show off his passing and his ability to play those diagonal balls is still really good. He showed it under Carlo. Just to put him out in the shop window, because I think a club will fall for it. I think maybe someone in Turkey, China's poor, and I don't know. It's Portugal, maybe one of the big Portuguese clubs.
Yeah, it was linked with Benfica, wasn't he?
Spain, maybe a mid-table Spanish club. Valencia might take him back.
Yeah, did well there, but we'll have to wait and see. They're probably in a bit of a financial situation themselves, Valencia, so they'll stump up much money.
But I also think if Gomez leaves, he won't want 100 grand a week. I think he knows I cannot command 100 grand a week. And if a club's offered for me, he's not, I don't know. Gomez doesn't seem like the type of player who's just going to go, no, I'm not paying for you because you're not going to pay me 100 grand a week. I think he'd like to play football too, but he's also, he's not going to complain about making 100 grand a week and not being included, is he?
No, because you just wouldn't. You'd like to think that.
We all like to think that everyone's got a moral compass and they'll go, I'm not producing for this club. I'll happily sacrifice 100,000 great British pounds a week to go to another club. No, of course you wouldn't. I'm an Everton fan. I do not care. If I was crap, I would happily sit and suck up 100 grand's worth of wages a week because it's common sense, really, isn't it? You're supporting your own financial situation. But I do think if he was offered to leave at a club that isn't, an absolute stinker, I think he would move, and I don't think he'd have a problem with it.
Hopefully. But, in terms of, obviously, the opposition, Huddersfield, what do you expect to see from them? It's going to be going to make a cup tie of it, do you think?
Yeah.
It's proper.
Yeah, I think they try to play decent stuff. I believe their managers.
Spanish?
Yeah, Carlos Corberan did something with Leeds, I think. Was he with Bielsa?
He was one of Leeds' coaches, and then Huddersfield took him as a manager.
Yeah, so I expect him to play, try to play some nice football, a lot of pressing, trying to bring the attack to us, try to catch us off guard. But I also think that's just going to lead us to so many chances. I think we're going to be able to slice them apart I think we should be able to. Because the simple thing is, Marco Silva's Fulham beat them 5-1. I think they lost 5-1 to Fulham. If Marco Silva can put 5 past them, who I do still like, he was probably one of the only managers who left, and I had no ill will to. And I'm actually really happy he got a job to prove himself that he's good enough. Because I do think Fulham personally might win the league. West Brom or Fulham, it looks like maybe Bournemouth. But I do think we should be able to put 3 or 4 past them with relative ease. I think they're quite easy to cut apart. I think you can catch them off guard a lot of times. So I think it's going to be a showcase game for a few of our younger attackers. That's what I think it'll be. And I just think we need to be careful. Though I don't think we should just sit there and go, oh, yeah, it's Huddersfield, don't worry. I think we'll be able to pick them apart, but I also think we need to keep an eye on the attack. It's like I said, last-minute winner against Sheffield United, who may have had an awful start, but were in the Premier League last season and did, beat us. So it's the situation where it's, don't just do an Everton and do something stupid because it's Huddersfield in the Cup. You realise that there is a chance this team can score goals against us, but then also notice that their weakness is that their defence is awful, and it is something that maybe our young players can capitalise on to really boost their stock, all the players we want to sell. So I think it's just prioritise the win, but I would also like to see, Rafa give a showcase to a few younger players mainly.
Bring them off the bench, I reckon.
Yeah, I think a few of them will start. I think Gordon starts, like we said. I think
Bramway maybe.
Starts. Isn't Nkunku fit?
I don't even know. We haven't really seen much of him, have we, lately?
Yeah. I think he was on the bench against Southampton.
It wasn't against Leeds, I don't think.
No, so well, if that is, then hopefully he's fit, giving Nkunku a game, because in the end, I don't want Digne getting injured. So yeah, I think give our top youngsters who've proven that they can, come off the bench for the first team, give them a start, and then maybe a few of the others off the bench, Cannon, Dobbin, a few players like that, give them a chance off the bench maybe. So yeah, I think it's It'd be a nice little showcase game, hopefully, and hopefully, even though we want it to be a showcase game, we don't be completely stupid and just go, yep, attack, attack, attack. Oh, we've just conceded 3 to Huddersfield. Because that's something I could really see Everton doing. And I don't want to just witness something that stupid again.
Yeah, well, but I'm confident that I think Benitez is quite pragmatic. I think he'll try and find the right balance for that. Hopefully,
Yeah, I don't think we will go out and just trying to attack. We might, because Rafa might think it's Huddersfield, because he did mention that he wants to show the fans that we can play exciting football. I do remember him saying that in one of his early press conferences. So I'm hoping he doesn't, try too hard to please us. Just win, Rafa. That's the best way you're going to please us, even if it's a 1-0 win against Huddersfield. I don't care. I want to win a cup. If that means we 1-0 away through the entire tournament, I couldn't care.
Yeah, let's go do that. Anyway, we'll be wrapping up now anyway. So, predictions?
3-0 Everton.
I'll go 2-0. Just get the job done. Get out of there. Get on with it. Maybe, some good performances to bring us a few transfer fees, like we say. So there you have it, guys. We'll leave it at that. Let us know your opinions on the game that's upcoming against Huddersfield. Drop us a comment. Let us know how confident you are, your predictions as well, of course. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content. And of course, until next time, thank you for watching on the Toffee Blues.